Hello guys, the topic for today is process and process states. So what we are going to cover in this lecture, we are going to understand what is a process, what are different states that a process goes through, and what is process control box. So what is a process? Process है क्या? We use this word very frequently, but what actually it means? So but if we go by definition, प्रोसेस क्या है? प्रोसेस इज द प्रोग्राम इन एग्जीक्यूशन. मीन्स जब हम एक प्रोग्राम को एग्जीक्यूट कर देते हैं, उसको रन करते हैं, देन इट बिकम्स अ प्रोसेस. सो द क्वेश्चन इज हाउ डू बी एग्जीक्यूट अ प्रोग्राम. हम ये कैसे करते हैं? सो इफ यू आर यूजिंग अ ग्राफिकल यूजर इंटरफेस, द वे दैट यू डू इट इज बाय डबल क्लिकिंग द एग्जीक्यूटेबल फाइल. तो जो EXE फाइल है, MS वर्ड की EXE हो या VLC प्लेयर की EXE फाइल हो, once you double click it, it becomes a process. So in a graphical user interface, the method of changing a program into a process is you can double click the program, which is nothing but a executable file. So आप सोच रहे होगे कि प्रोग्राम तो हम C में लिखते हैं या जावा में लिखते हैं. So that is also a program. The executable file is also a program. The C program that you are writing is understood to you because it is in a high level language. Once we compile it using a compiler, then it changes into an executable file which is understood by the system. So exe file is nothing but a low level form of your C code or your Java code, right? But if you are using a command line interface, तो वो डबल क्लिक नहीं कर सकते हैं. तो कमांड लाइन में भी हमारे पास कमांड है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर आपने लिनक्स में C का प्रोग्राम लिखा है, देन हाउ यू कंपाइल इट? GCC and then you write the name of the program. तो वो compiled out file बन गई, executable file, and then we run it by using ./a.out or whatever name you have given, right? So we'll do this both here. I show you how you are doing it actually. Now see, this is the task manager. You can open it on your system also. So you can see a list of apps. Apps are nothing but the processes that are running in the system. तो इन सब apps को मैंने रन किया हुआ है. ये प्रोग्राम थे जिनको मैंने डबल क्लिक करके प्रोसेस बना दिया. सो वी कैन सी दैट देर आर 6 एंट्रीज. तो वर्ड की एंट्री अभी यहाँ पे नहीं है, ठीक है, या VLC प्लेयर की यहाँ पे एंट्री नहीं है बिकॉज अभी तक मैंने इसको रन नहीं किया. तो हाउ आई एम गोइंग टू डू इट? यहाँ पे मेरे पास शॉर्टकट है. आई एम जस्ट गोइंग टू क्लिक इट. VLC रन हो गया एंड नाउ द एंट्री ऑफ VLC इज हेयर इन द रनिंग प्रोसेसेस, राइट? सो आई हैव मेड अ प्रोसेस आउट ऑफ अ प्रोग्राम. Now if you are using a command line interface like a Ubuntu, so if I use the PS command, this shows me the list of processes that are currently running. So here we can see two processes, bash and PS, right? So I'll make another entry here. I will run a process and then we'll see the entry of that process coming in this list. So let's run a process in the background. A.out is a compiled output file which I have got. So I'm going to run it in the background and then I'm going to see whether the entry exists or not. So see, once I run this in the background, then there's an entry for A.out. So one thing you can notice here is every process has got a process ID. So every process, the system identifies every process with the help of a प्रोसेस ID, और ये प्रोसेस ID हर प्रोसेस के लिए यूनिक होगा. लाइक बैश हैज गॉट प्रोसेस ID 8, A.out 22, PS 23 एंड सो ऑन. ये किसी का भी सेम नहीं होगा. either it is Windows or Linux, process ID will always be different. Process ID we can see in Windows also. You can go to task manager, details में जाओ, and then here you will see the process ID. You can see that every process has got a process ID. VLC भी हमने रन किया था, तो देन दी VLC प्रोसेस ID इज 14516. Ubuntu मैंने रन किया है, उसका ID कहते हैं 27200. सो दिस हाउ वी मेक प्रोग्राम इनटू अ प्रोसेस. सो व्हाट्स अ प्रोसेस? प्रोसेस इज अ प्रोग्राम इन एग्जीक्यूशन. सो इज इट ऑल? वंस वी मेक अ प्रोसेस, इज प्रोग्राम इज द ओनली पार्ट ऑफ द प्रोसेस? द आंसर इज नो. वंस द प्रोसेस is loaded into the RAM, the process structure looks like this. It occupies some memory, let us suppose starting from 0 to a max number, and the entire process structure is divided into 4 parts: code, data, heap and stack. Now this code or text is the program part. Data is the global variables that you have declared in that code. तो आपने कुछ variables, integers, कुछ characters, कुछ floats, कुछ arrays declare किए होंगे. So data contains those global variables. Now if you see in this diagram, the size of code and data is fixed, whereas for the other two entries, heap and stack, it can vary, it can grow. Why it is fixed for data and code? Because the code will never change. जो हमने एक बारी कोड कर दिया है वो तो वही रहेगी फाइल, चेंज तो नहीं होने वाला अपने आप. Hence the size is fixed. Similarly, the data, the variables that you have declared will always remain the same. If you have declared 3 integer variables a, b, c, their size will never change. So this data and text part or the code part is fixed. The size for them is fixed. Now what is stack? Stack contains the temporary data. For example, function parameters, return addresses and local variables. To understand it, let's take an example. We have coded the program for factorial. Now normally to code that program we use recursive functions. Now how many times the recursive function will be used depends upon the number for which we are calculating the factorial. Let us suppose it is for 3 factorial. Then how it will be coded? 3 into 2 into 1. So the function will be called 3 times. And let us suppose now the number is 5 factorial. So you want to calculate the factorial for 5. इस बार कितने बार फंक्शन कॉल होगा? 5 times. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. सो हमें ये पता नहीं है कि फंक्शन कितनी बार कॉल होना है, बिकॉज दैट वैल्यू डिपेंड्स अपॉन द वैल्यू ऑफ n. Hence we cannot fix the size of stack, and hence the stack size can grow. It is variable. Fourth section is heap. Heap is for dynamic memory allocation. तो हमने ये पढ़ा था कि we cannot every time fix the size of the variable. For example, आपने एक variable declare किया है for storing the name. Now you don't know कि नेम का साइज़ क्या होने वाला है, तो मैं उस नेम वेरिएबल की वैल्यू बहुत कम भी नहीं रख सकता, एंड आई कैनॉट कीप इट टू लार्ज. इफ़ वी कीप इट टू लेस देन you might not be able to fit the name. If we keep it too large then you might waste a lot of memory. तो solution क्या होता है हमारा? Dynamic memory allocation, malloc alloc use करके. Since the size again is not fixed, hence the heap can grow in size, right? So a process consists of 4 parts: text, data, stack and heap. Text क्या है? हमारा code part, data global variables, stack for function and heap for dynamic memory allocation. The size for code and data will be fixed, whereas the size for heap and stack is variable. So remember, what is a program? Program is not a process, it's a passive entity and it is just a list of instructions. What's a process? Process is an active entity and it has a program counter. Program counter means it contains the address of the next instruction. So a program will become a process when an executable is loaded into the memory. Now a very important question: can 2 or more than 2 process be associated with the same program? क्या एक प्रोग्राम के साथ एक से ज़्यादा प्रोसेस एसोसिएट हो सकते हैं? I would like you to pause the video, think for a minute and then look into the answer. So the answer is yes. You can have multiple processes associated with the same program. Example, we run MS Word, multiple instances of MS Word. अब MS Word की exe फाइल तो एक ही है, पर अगर मैंने उसको 2 बार चलाया, this means that I am running 2 processes of MS Word, right? या आपने अगर VLC 2 बार चलाया हुआ तो आपने 2 ब्राउज़र ओपन किए हुए हैं, 3 ब्राउज़र ओपन किए, सबके लिए exe फाइल तो सेम है, बट you are using the same exe file to generate multiple processes. So in that case the text section will remain the same, whereas the data, heap and stack will be different for each process. So I'll show you this both in case of Windows as well as in case of Linux. So this is the task manager which I have already shown to you, and we run वन इंस्टांस ऑफ VLC प्लेयर एंड दिस इज़ द एंट्री फॉर VLC। एक इंस्टांस अभी रन कर रहा है, डिटेल्स में उसका प्रोसेस ID इज़ 14516। अब मेरे पास VLC की exe फाइल तो एक ही है। इफ़ आई रन इट अगेन, दिस मीन्स कि यहाँ पे मुझे दो एंट्री दिखनी चाहिए, राइट। सो आई एम गोइंग टू रन द VLC अगेन। सो आप ये नीचे देख सकते हो, here you can see that there are two VLC running. If I go to the task manager now, I have two entries for VLC. This means two process for VLC. I can go into details. Here also there are two entries. 14516 was the other entry, और नई entry कौन सी है? 24432 is the new entry. So I have generated two process from the same program or from the same executable file. The same thing we can do in Linux also. So we have already run a.out. Let us see what is the current status of PS. So there are three processes that it is showing. If I run a.out again in the background, it should show me 4 entries, right? Bash, there are 2 entries for a.out, one having PID 22 and other having PID 25. तो अब मैंने एक ही a.out को दो बार रन किया और दोनों की PID डिफरेंट है। दिस मीन्स आई एम रनिंग मल्टीपल प्रोसेसेस विद द सेम प्रोग्राम। So the answer to the question is yes. So you can run multiple instances with the same program. Now the next topic is process states. So I'm going to refer to a animation. It's a very good animation which is there on williamstellings.com. So William Stelling is a very popular author for books on computer science. So I would like you to open this link. It might not work on Chrome. Chrome पे वो download start हो जाता है. So I prefer using Microsoft Edge for this link. Since it's an animation, it might ask for allowing the flash player. तो flash player on करने के लिए शायद वो बोलेगा, then you can just allow it. This shows you the various states that a process can go through during its lifetime. So the states are new, ready, running, waiting, and terminated. So new is the very first state. New means you have just created a process. So once a process is created, from the new state it will change its state to ready state. Ready state means that the process has entered into the RAM. Now once it is inside the RAM, it will be dispatched for the CPU processing, and once it gets the CPU, it starts running. एक बार जब process को CPU allot हो गया, then the change will state from ready to running state. Now once this process is running, what happens to the OS? OS is also a process, always remember this. So you can see that here the OS state has changed to waiting, right? So now this process, green process, is running. While running, another process arrives, this red process, and it is added to the ready queue. This is a queue in the ready state. Now what happened? The moment it came here, the green process is interrupted and it is added back into the queue, and the red one is dispatched for processing, and it starts running. Why this happened? Because it might be a case that the red process है, this is having higher priority. The red process is having higher priority than the green one. So green is immediately interrupted. अगर किसी प्रोसेस की प्रायोरिटी हाई है, then it will interrupt the current running process. तो current running process को क्या होगा? The state will change back to ready state. Now the red process is running. While it was running, another process arrived into the system, which is the yellow process, and it is added behind the green process, thus making a queue. We have only one processor, right? Processor एक है, processes मेरे पास ज़्यादा हैं, तो what we have done is we have made a queue in the RAM. The red process is running and it stopped running and is going for some kind of a input output event. तो रनिंग के टाइम क्या हुआ? आप सपोज करो कि रेड प्रोसेस को कुछ प्रिंट करना है. इफ़ इट वांट्स टू प्रिंट, then it won't require the CPU, it requires the printer. So it has changed its state from running to the waiting state, because might happen that the printer is not free at that time. Printer is being used by some other process, printer को कोई और process use कर रहा है, and this read process will have to wait for its turn for the printer, right? So the state of the read process has changed from running to waiting. अगर ये read process waiting state में आ गया तो what is the CPU doing? It is free. Since it's a multi-programming system, तो क्या होगा? One of the process out of green and yellow will be allocated to the CPU now. So red has started printing, it's doing some kind of input-output event, and the green is dispatched to the CPU for execution. तो green ने execute करना start हो गया. Now what happened? वो red ने जो printing करनी थी वो उसने printing कर ली, and now what will happen? It will be added back once the input-output is completed. The read process will be added back into the ready queue. Directly run नहीं करेंगे, उसको वापस queue में add करना है. Right? The green one is running, and now the state of green is changed from running to terminated because the green process has finished whatever work it was supposed to do. तो green ने जो काम करना था वो finish हो गया, और अब उसकी state कहाँ से change हो जाएगी? From running to terminated. And next the yellow process will be dispatched for the execution. So the yellow process will change the state from ready to running. It will do some processing, and finally it will exit, thus changing the state from running to terminated. Same will happen with the read process also. Starts running and changing the state to terminated state. So we have seen that there are 5 states: new, ready, running, and terminated. Whenever a process is ready for execution, the state is changed from new to ready. Ready means the process is inside the RAM and it requires only the CPU for processing. Ready state में क्या meaning है? किसके लिए wait कर रहा है? सिर्फ CPU के लिए. Once the CPU is allocated, जब CPU उसको मिल गया, then the state will change from ready to running. अब running से 3 चीज़ें हो सकती हैं. Either it can be interrupted by higher priority process. In that case, the state will change from running back to ready. Second case, from running it requires some kind of input output, then the state will change to waiting state. Third scenario, the process execution is finished and the state will change from running to terminated state. Second point to note is, in the ready state and in the waiting state there is a queue. ऐसा क्यों है? We have only one CPU and there are multiple process. तो हमें एक क्यू बनाने की ज़रूरत है, and one by one the processes are allocated to the CPU. सेम केस वेटिंग के लिए है. ऐसा हो सकता है कि इनपुट आउटपुट डिवाइस एक ही हो, जैसे आपके पास एक ही प्रिंटर है, बट यू वांट टू प्रिंट फ्रॉम वर्ड आल्सो, फ्रॉम PDF आल्सो, तो 2-3 प्रोसेस प्रिंटिंग करना चाहते हैं, तो देन दे विल हैव टू वेट फॉर देयर टर्न, इसलिए वहाँ पे क्यू बना होगा, राइट. सो दिस इज ऑल अबाउट द डिफरेंट स्टेट्स दैट अ प्रोसेस कैन गो थ्रू. So we have seen that a process can have different values associated with it. एक process का एक PID होगा, एक process के साथ उसकी state associated होगी. A process will have a program counter. A process will have to keep track of which registers it is using, right? कौन सा input output device वो use कर रहा था या किसके लिए उसने request करी हुई है, right? So all this information, जो भी information किसी process के साथ associated है, all that is saved in a process control box. Process control box is also termed as task control box. So it saves all the information that is associated with the process. Why we need to save it? क्यों save करनी है ये information? तो you have seen in the process state diagram that a process can change state from running to waiting or running to ready. तो उस केस में क्या होगा? जब उसने वापस running में आना है, it needs to know कि पहले क्या काम किया हुआ था, what all thing has been done so far, which registers were associated with it, what was the memory information, what was the scheduling information, what was the input output status. So everything it needs to know. अगर वो सेव नहीं किया होगा then everything has to start from the beginning. सेव नहीं करेंगे तो सब कुछ दोबारा स्टार्ट करना पड़ेगा. So you don't want to do it a process which might have executed 90% during its first CPU burst. जब वो दोबारा वापस आया तो उसे 90 से आगे ही स्टार्ट करना है, दोबारा 0 से स्टार्ट नहीं करना. So we need to save all the information in the PCB. So this is how it will look. There will be a process table which will contain the PID and a pointer to each PCB. हर एक process का अपना अपना एक PCB होगा और एक pointer उसको point कर रहा होगा. Whatever information is updated, that is saved in that particular process PCB. Whenever the information is required, it is retrieved from that process PCB. Right? So this was all about process states and PCB. So hope you have understood the basic concepts of process. अगर आपको अच्छा लगा वीडियो then do subscribe, and in the next topic we are going to cover process scheduling and schedulers. One of the very important topics in scheduling is the schedulers, right? So this will be the topic of our next discussion. The PPT link is this, so you can download the PPT and go through the reading material on this particular link. So see you in the next class. Take care.